Okay, first off, let's get started with this. Okay, Axios has now turned an oldish story. Harris abandoned her old border wall views to endorse the border bill into a new flip-flop shocker, which reminds David Weigel, friend of the show, of Robert Novak's maxim: you're either a source or you're a target. Now, the media only does adversarial journalism when the Democratic Party denies access, because access journalism works in that way. Access journalism works in this way, where like obviously the State Department, if they offer you access and give you stories every now and then, drip feed shit, right? Then the media will play ball. But the inverse of that is also true, because the Democratic Party is not playing ball right now with the media by refusing to reveal policies, refusing to take an interview. There's only 69 days remaining. They are petty as fuck. Journalists are petty as hell. They will absolutely start hammering the Harris campaign. Okay? I mean, look at Axios. Look at this. Look. This is from 2 hours ago. Big tech defends free speech amid government pressure. Like, this is what happens when you don't play ball. Okay? You get hammered this way. You feed the beast or the beast feeds on you. CJ Craig, West Wing. Oh my God. I mean, it is technically true. So that's what's going on right now. And I do think that this is a pivot point for the Kamala camp. If they don't come out with interviews soon, okay, they're going to get mad. They're going to start actually daggering her, which is then going to create, it's going to create another negative spiral where the Harris camp will then retriangulate and hit even more moderate, more right-wing positions, okay? And that's where we're at right now. And I called it. I told you guys this already. I told you that, like, I was very fearful that the Harris camp was going to retriangulate and run to the center as they run scared, you know? And they did that at the DNC. They started moderating. Okay. And the media liked that. They definitely went with like, see how reasonable she is? See how moderate she is? They let the Brat Summer vibes continue, is what I'm saying. They did. Now, of course, the Brat Summer vibes can only continue with the media allowing it to continue for so long. You know, it's not gonna be forever. You can't just like sleepwalk your way in the same way that like the Democratic Party tried to do with Biden into a Brat Autumn. There is no Brat Autumn. It's Brat Summer. Brat Summer's about to end. Okay. It's time for fucking Brat Autumn, except there is no Brat Autumn. So now they're going to start lasering her. I don't even think I've seen your take on this. Why do you think Harris is avoiding interviews? I'm not really sure. She's avoiding interviews because like they're gonna fucking be like, why'd you flip-flop on all this shit? And they think that they can like keep the momentum going on vibes alone for as long as they can. They're gonna be like, why haven't you fucking released your policies? How do you plan to pay for it? If she goes with a progressive camp, if she goes with progressive legislation, they're gonna hit her with a, how are you gonna pay for it? How are you gonna pay for it? I know all of this because I've been in this game for quite a while. I know how the media operates, okay? I hope CNN does a 180 and calls her a jingoist warhawk. No, they would never do that. If anything, I think Kamala Harris's like undying fealty that she offered at the altar at the last night of the DNC to the American military industrial complex was a way to try to keep the media off her back a little bit, you know? The most important constituency being the corporations, those who benefit from the continuation of American imperialism. That wasn't for the voters. There's not really a voter out there in a swing state that's like, yeah, that's I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris. I was leaning against Kamala Harris, but like because she's the NATO candidate, I'm gonna vote for her. Just like there wasn't one for Joe Biden, there isn't a guy like that for Kamala Harris either. Okay, but when they say stuff like that, they're saying that so that, you know, corporate-backed media doesn't fucking start lasering her pretty aggressively, allows this like momentum to continue. So I think that's what it is. I really think it's not even that complex for interviews. I really think it's that they don't have a platform policy decided fully because it's only been 4 weeks and 2 internal people. They really wanted a ceasefire this weekend to be able to lean on that and rebuilding Gaza for policy as well, but Blinken is pissing them off. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy that like a person in the administration can do that. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And now, and I told you this as well, all of these fucking Silicon Valley tech geeks are going right wing, okay? They're going nutty mode. They were already right wing, but they're going extra right wing. Like they're going from like libertarian right, hyper capitalist, but doesn't care about like gay and trans people, whatever, who gives a shit, you know, let them live, to straight up culture war right wing, okay? Maybe she's holding off on press because she's so left that they're afraid of Kamala. What? That if she explains her policies because they're left, she'll lose votes? You can't be a 14-month subscriber in this community and unironically think that staying on message with like progressive policies and explaining to people that they're not radical at all is going to cause you to lose votes. Like, you're joking, I think. That is also additionally funny, thinking that like Kamala Harris is a secret communist. Like the assumption that Kamala Harris is both a secret communist, also paired up with the assumption that like people, like voters, despise, feeding children is doubly silly. She's refusing to talk to them because they're not state-owned and she does not recognize private business. I agree. Who do you support? I haven't watched you since 2020. First time watching you in 4 years. Who do you support, by the way? Yo, I haven't watched you since COVID. Who do you support? Who do you support? I haven't watched you. I support you, dude. Okay? I support the American working class. That's who I support. I hope that makes sense for you. That's crazy. Nebraskans don't care about NATO. They're fearful of tornadoes. What will Kamala do to kill those tornadoes? That's funny. Have you considered that by not feeding your own children will be considered owning the lives by some? Yeah, I mean, that's like crazy people. Yeah, but did you notice the new trend? The Silicon Valley and most of its VCs are now into defense tech and it also attracts a very specific breed of right-winger. Yeah, I have noticed that. And I'm talking about it. I've been talking about it for a while. They've like done this weird fucking pivot to the right. I just wanted to say once again that Brad Summer is coming to an end. Kamala Harris's campaign needs to recognize that quickly. They cannot expect the media to keep playing ball with them if they don't give them any fucking access. Okay?
This campaign and members of the news media have let her. She's not answering questions about. We know her position. She's against fracking. She's against private health insurance. She's against gasoline cars. That's what she told us when she ran for president last time. She doesn't want to talk about those positions. That's why she's stalling it.
And she should do an interview. I'm just politically saying, Brad, and you have to acknowledge that it hasn't been that bad to this point.
She's going to show up. It is coming. She'll show up at NPR or somewhere like that, but she's not going to take tough questions. She's going to show up on a network, and she's going to have a sit-down conversation. She has already said, her campaign has already said that that's going to happen. If you're waiting for the date, everybody else is waiting for the date. It's a month. She's actually on the ground. She's doing bus tours across the state of Georgia. She is talking to the voters. She's the last one in the room. Let's hear it.
Yep, told you. They're going to start chirping. They're not just going to start chirping. They're going to start actually doing adversarial journalism on certain issues. Google's former CEO was on NPR the other day saying we need to spend more on AI for military use and Israel's doing a good job with it. I hate it here. Yeah, dude, that's what I always think of. When I think of like what the most efficient like baby murder machine is, I think of Israel. La, 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 no.